Hi guys, and thanks again for joining me. I have tried this about 3 times now. Something crazy is going on with my Photoshop, so I guess we'll try one more time. I'm sorry, it's been a little while since my last video and my last live. I've been working ridiculous, just trying to get my website up and running, and it's taking forever. So I thought that I would take a few minutes off and try to do a quick edit. And typically I would do a little more of an in-depth edit on this photo, but for this purpose I just want to show you guys some quick things that you can do to a photo to make it pop. Okay, so in this image I am going to add some flowers to the foreground. I believe there were flowers in this bush right here that I shot through, but I just didn't get any of them in the image. So if you can tell from my photos, I obviously love to photograph children, and I like to shoot through things to get that blurred foreground. And also I like to have kids pose naturally. So I had her sit down, and I told her where to place her arms just so they weren't all over the place. She typically likes to pick up things on the ground and, you know, do a bunch of different things like kids do. But I told her just to be natural, and she looked around and she instantly spotted a spider web in this bush. And then she was fine with it. In this picture, I got one chance to get a picture, and she was fine with it until she saw the actual spider. So about 1 second after I snapped this, she got up and ran away. So luckily we were able to capture this. Okay, so this is what we're trying to achieve in this image, and this is where we're starting. So I have my blurred foreground flowers, and this is for sale in my store. If you go to my website, I'll try to link it. It's not quite ready yet, but I'll try to link it whenever I get it up and running. So this would be in my spring collection. It would come with spring colors, spring flowers, backgrounds, light, and just a bunch of different things. So I took those flowers, and I drug them here. Now I'm going to go to Edit, Free Transform, and I just want to grab a corner and drag. I'm going to try to make it so that it's even, and I'm just going to place it right here. Oops, right there. Okay, select OK, and I want to bring my opacity down a little bit of this. It's a little bit bold for me. Probably about 70 looks good. I like that. 65. Okay, now I want to add a layer mask right down here, my layers panel, and I'm going to select my brush, soft round brush, at about 50%. I'll leave it there, and I'm just going to make my brush size larger, and I want this to be off 100% on her, and the rest I'm just going to kind of go around and make it a little bit softer. Okay, so that looks good. I'm gonna flatten that. I right click and flatten, and you don't have to flatten, I just do because it makes it easier to edit everything. So now what I want to do is go to curves. So I'll pick my adjustment layers, curves, bump up my reds a teeny bit, and bring down my blues, and that just warms up this image. And I know that's what I want to leave it at. Okay, also I am going to add light hues. Oops, I don't want to brush it, I want to move it. Okay, so this is another overlay that is for sale on my site, and I'm just going to drag this over here, edit, scale, or free transform, either. And if you don't have these, if you haven't purchased these, you can also use gradients to give you a similar type of effect. I just personally like this light hue because it already has different variations in it, so that's a lot less work. That would be probably about 3, maybe 4 gradients to get that, so that is very time consuming. This just kind of breaks it down a little bit. And now we want to come up here to our blend modes and go to screen, and I want to bring the opacity of that down and add a layer mask. Now I want to do the same thing, brush, black brush, about 50%. And I want to just paint this off of her and this bush right here, and a little bit off of this bush. I want it to look like it is coming down from right back here, so that looks fine to me. Okay, there's our off and on. Maybe bring it down a little bit. Okay, and that looks good to me. Now I'll come up here to my filter, my Camera Raw filter. And a lot of people use Lightroom, but I feel that Camera Raw, Adobe Camera Raw, it serves the same purpose for me. So I'm just going to bring up my slider for contrast, bring up my slider for clarity, and up for vibrance. And I don't have a set number. I usually keep it under 15. This one's a little bit higher. But it just depends on the image and what I see here in the preview. So I'm going to click OK. And you can tell that just kind of makes it pop even more. So for now, this is going to be the extent of the editing I'm going to do to this image. I'm going to take a snapshot. Okay, so here is our before. And here is our after. So also, if you wanted to do this without the overlay that I have, you would also just do gradients. Again, but that would take a lot of time. These overlays really do help save time when you're editing, which is very important, because if you're doing it for a client, then, you know, you're being paid for your time, and if you're editing for hours and hours, it becomes time consuming and you're making way less money. That's more time away from your family and everything else that you could be doing. So even if you're not purchasing my actions or overlays, I do recommend a hand editing is great, but for these types of things I do recommend something. Even if you make your own, it's very helpful. But thank you guys for joining me, and I will try to do another one of these maybe Monday or Tuesday. Just a quick edit, just for fun. And if you have any suggestions or you need help with anything, just let me know. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you next time.